All right, welcome. Today we're going to peel back the case on that device you use every single day, your computer. And we're going to break down all the essential parts in a way that's super simple, understandable, and, maybe even a little fun. You ready? Let's get started.
Look, if you've ever felt that way, you are so not alone. For most of us, right, a computer is just this magic box. We type, we click, and amazing things just happen. But what is really going on in there? It might seem impossibly complex, but I promise you, it's way more straightforward than you think. So, to make sense of all this, we're going to use one simple analogy for this entire explainer. A digital kitchen. Yep, every single part of your computer has a job to do, just like the staff and the equipment in a really busy restaurant kitchen.
Okay, so before we actually step into that kitchen, there's one thing we've got to get straight. Every single computer has two sides to it. First, there's the hardware. That's all the physical stuff you can actually touch. The screen, the keyboard, all the little chips inside. And then you have the software. These are the programs, the instructions that tell all that physical hardware what to do. So think of it like this. Hardware is the pots and pans, and the software, that's the recipe book.
All right, the doors to our digital kitchen are officially open. Let's go inside and meet the core hardware team, the ones responsible for making all that magic happen. So here's the rundown of our core kitchen staff. First up, you've got the CPU, or the processor. That's our head chef. Next is the RAM, or memory, and that acts as our main kitchen counter. Your storage, whether it's a newer SSD or an older hard drive, that's the pantry. And connecting the whole shebang is the motherboard, the actual structure of the kitchen itself. Let's break them down one by one.
Okay, first up is the CPU, the central processing unit. This is your chef. It's that simple. Think about it. Every single time you click something, type a command, or open a program, you're basically giving the chef an order. The CPU reads the recipe, which is the software, and does all the thinking and the calculating to make it happen. A faster chef means a faster computer. All right, next up we have RAM, which stands for Random Access Memory. And this is your kitchen counter. So when the chef's working, he pulls ingredients out of the pantry and puts them on the counter for easy access, right? Well, RAM is exactly the same. It's a temporary workspace for all the apps and files you have open right now. And that's why having more RAM is a big deal. The bigger your counter, the more stuff you can work on at once without everything getting all jammed up. But just like a real counter, if you overload it, the whole process just grinds to a halt.
So you get it, right? RAM is the temporary counter. Well, your storage, whether that's a hard drive or one of those newer solid-state drives, that is the permanent pantry. This is where you keep everything for the long term. Your photos, your documents, your games, all your programs. The pantry keeps it all safe, even when you turn the power off. And the type of pantry really matters. An SSD, a solid-state drive, it's like having this perfectly organized pantry where you can grab any ingredient in a split second. That's why your computer boots up and opens programs so much faster with one.
So, what holds this whole operation together? The motherboard. I mean, think about it. You can have a world-class chef, a gigantic counter, and a pantry that's stocked to the ceiling. But if they're not all in the same building, connected, then nothing's going to get done, right? The motherboard is that building. It's the main circuit board that connects the CPU, the RAM, and the storage, letting them all talk to each other and work as a team.
Okay, so we've met our hardware team. They're all ready to go. But who's in charge? Who's telling the chef what to cook and when to cook it? Well, that would be the operating system, or the OS. It's basically the manager of our entire digital kitchen.
And this quote, man, it really hits the nail on the head. Our hardware, our chef, our counter, our pantry is incredibly powerful. But without a manager directing traffic, it's really just a useless pile of metal and plastic. The OS is the software that brings it all to life.
And you use an OS every single day. You just might not think about it in these terms. The most common ones you've probably heard of are Microsoft Windows and Apple's Mac OS. You might also be familiar with Linux, or maybe the Chrome OS you find on Chromebooks. They all do the same basic job. They manage the kitchen.
So how does the OS let us, the customer, actually place an order with the kitchen? Well, it uses a GUI, or a Graphical User Interface. That's a kind of fancy term, but all it really means is all the icons, the menus, and the windows you click on. It's like the friendly menu at the restaurant that lets you point to what you want, instead of having to go back to the kitchen and shout code at the chef.
Okay, so we get the kitchen staff, the hardware. We get the manager, the OS. Now let's talk about the final piece of this puzzle, and that's you. How do you actually talk to this whole system? How do you place your order and get your meal?
It's actually a really simple two-way street. On one side, you have input.
That's you, giving information and commands to the computer. And on the other side, you have output. That's the computer giving information and results back to you.
Think of your input devices as all the different ways you can place your order. Your keyboard lets you type out your request. Your mouse lets you point to exactly what you want on the menu. A microphone lets you speak your order, and a webcam, well, that shows your face to the kitchen.
And then, of course, your output devices are how the kitchen serves you your meal. The monitor or the screen shows you the result. The speakers let you hear it. And a printer can give you a physical copy to take home. It's just this constant loop, right? Input from you, output from the computer.
All right, we know how our kitchen works, but there is one last super important step: keeping it clean and running smoothly. Because just like a real kitchen, a clean, well-maintained digital kitchen is just way more effective. A happy kitchen is a happy kitchen, right?
And it's not complicated. Here are 3 super simple rules to live by. First, always install software updates. Think of these as the health inspector coming in to patch up any security holes. Second, use strong, unique passwords. That's how you lock the doors to your kitchen. And third, back up your important files. This is like making a copy of your most valuable recipes, just in case there's a fire.
So the next time you look at your screen, hopefully you see something a little different. It's no longer some mysterious magic box. It's a logical system. It's a powerful tool. It's a fully equipped digital kitchen. And the best part? You're the one writing the menu. You get to decide what amazing things this kitchen is going to create. See, once you understand the parts, you have the power to use the whole thing so much more effectively. Whether you're writing a novel, editing a video, or just exploring new worlds online, you are in control of this incredible creative engine. So really, the only question left is, now that you know the basics, what are you going to create in your kitchen?